Have you ever noticed how some ideas just stick? They get an instant yes, while other ideas, maybe even brilliant ones, just seem to fizzle out? Well, guess what? It's not luck and it's not magic. There's actually a science to it. And today, we are going to pull back the curtain and decode this psychological formula for making any message incredibly persuasive.
So let me tell you a quick story. This is Maya. On her first try, she built this super detailed pitch, all logic, data, charts, the whole 9 yards. And the result? A hard no. Total rejection. But then she tried again. This time, she just focused on 3 clear benefits. And boom, it got approved, right there on the spot.
So what happened there? What was the big difference? I mean, the first pitch had more information, right? So why did it fail so badly while the second one worked like a charm? That's the exact question we're going to answer right now.
Okay, so here's the thing. Maya didn't just get lucky. She stumbled upon a really powerful persuasion formula. And I want to be clear, this is not about manipulation or being pushy. Not at all. It's about psychology. It's about understanding how our brains are literally hardwired to receive and process information.
And here it is. This is the secret sauce. It's emotion plus logic, all wrapped up in the rule of 3. That's it. This simple combination is the key to unlocking what feels like effortless influence. So let's break down each piece, and we're going to start with the one that matters most.
I'm sure you've heard this famous quote from Simon Sinek, right? It perfectly nails the first and most crucial part of our formula. The why is all about the emotional core of your message. It's the reason someone should even bother to listen to you, long before they ever care about the what you do or the how you do it. So how does this actually play out inside our heads? Well, here's the cool part. Neuroscience tells us that our brains process every single message we hear through 3 very distinct layers. And, this is important, it's always in a specific, non-negotiable order. You can't skip a step.
And here are those steps. Step 1 is always emotion, that instant gut-level reaction. Only after that does step 2, logic, kick in to try and make sense of that feeling. And finally, if and only if those first 2 align, does the brain move to step 3, action. So remember, feel, think, act, always in that order.
Just think of emotion as the bouncer at the door of your brain. The very first question that bouncer asks is, do I care about this? Does this matter to me? If you don't get an immediate emotional yes, that gate slams shut. Your message isn't getting in. End of story.
Let's look at an example. Saying we need to hit our sales targets is, well, it's just a cold fact. It doesn't really make you feel anything. But what if you frame it as, if we hit our targets, we secure stability and growth for everyone on the team? Ah, now you're talking. You've just connected a logical goal to a deep human need for security. You get a resounding yes to that does this matter to me question.
Okay, so once you've gotten past the bouncer, once you have their emotional attention, then their rational brain wakes up and starts looking for proof. It's asking, okay, I feel something, but does this actually make sense? Is it credible? This is where your data and your facts come in. But remember, logic's job is to support the interest that emotion already created.
And finally, you can do everything right. Connect emotionally, justify logically, and still fail if you don't do this last part. You have to give the brain a clear next step. The mind craves direction. A vague idea isn't enough. You need a strong, specific call to action to turn that interest into an actual decision.
All right, we've nailed down emotion and logic. Now it's time for the secret weapon, the amplifier that packages your message so perfectly for the human brain. And that is the magic of the number 3.
So why this number? Why is 3 so powerful? Well, our brains are basically pattern-seeking machines, and 3 is the absolute smallest number of items you need to create a pattern. It feels complete. It gives us what psychologists call cognitive fluency, which is just a fancy way of saying the information feels easy, it feels whole, it just feels right.
So when you package your ideas in 3s, you're making them incredibly easy for your audience to process. And because they're easy to process, they become way more memorable. And because they're memorable, they become far more persuasive. See? It's a simple brain hack that works with our natural tendencies, not against them. Just look at this. On the left, the message is okay, but it's a little wordy, a little clunky. On the right, you have the exact same core idea, but it's delivered with 3 punchy words: simple, powerful, and secure. That is what the rule of 3 does. It cuts through the noise and makes your message clear, compelling, and super sticky. And using this is really straightforward. First, try to structure your main argument into 3 distinct parts.
Second, use those short, powerful 3-word phrases for impact. And third, don't be afraid to repeat your main point at least 3 times. Repetition is how we learn. A classic way to structure any story is using a 3-act structure, right? You talk about the past, where the challenge was, then the present, what the solution is, and then you paint a picture of the future, the incredible results you're going to get. That simple narrative arc is just deeply satisfying to our minds. Okay, we've gone through the science, we've decoded the formula. Now it's your turn. Let's talk about how you can start putting this amazing psychology into practice, like today. So let's do a quick recap. What are the most important things to remember? Number 1, people feel, then think, then act. Always lead with emotion. Number 2, the rule of 3 is your best friend for making ideas stick. And number 3, a strong pitch is always an emotional hook, 3 clear points, and a specific ask. And hey, for bonus points, combine all this with strategic pauses and naming the emotion you want them to feel. You want to give this a shot? Here is a super simple 3-day challenge for you. On day 1, just practice. Take any idea, big or small, and break it into 3 parts. Day 2, try using an emotional hook and 3 points in a couple of casual conversations. Then on day 3, go for it. Put the whole formula together in a real pitch or meeting.
And I want to leave you with this one final thought. Real persuasion. It's not about forcing your agenda on someone. It's about understanding what makes people tick. And when you intentionally combine these principles of psychology with your ideas, you'll find that what used to be a real struggle becomes what we're all after: effortless influence.